Looking for McConkey. Morgan had time to spoil. Runs right back to Sells. Now Eames, the Liston medalist for 91. Chipping just a little bit too far. But O'Keefe squares. Oh, what a kick! Well, I thought he was just putting it out to the edge of the square.
No, the ball's out, Peter. The boundary.
No, I think it's been given, Sam.
I thought the boundary umpire was running in saying he was out of bounds, but no, you're right.
He did put his arm up. Yes,
Yeah,
Peter, I think he was. I think he was trying to square it up, but he did. As it turned out, it went through the goals. And luck of the draw, but a good start.
Doyle with a big spoil. Good hand pass to Eames. On his wrong foot, centering it. Drum in front. Oh, should have marked it. Chance for Lesser Putty. Feeds it off to Neil Danaher. 30 metres out and kicks a goal.
Very cool then, Werribee, when the ball... Interesting though, Eames on his right foot there used the ball well. Drum didn't take the mark, but it's good team play here. Lesser Putty could keep running, but he decides to feed the ball off to Danaher. Settling, and Neil Danaher is just very good when he gets those chances to kick a goal.
All day. Got the call. Spun wide. The running McMaster. He's going to go to the vacant goal square. Drum racing back there. Also O'Keefe. Damien Drum. O'Keefe should get a free kick.
Well, just showed the experience there too, Peter. With Drum, he just put the ball straight back into the corridor. You'll see the ball, I think, no, he didn't see it there. It spilled out, but Drum got on the left foot, put it right, and when you can see where the mark has been taken, he's put it 12 metres out. It's Tony Elshaw. He would be worried at the moment.
3 goals from Werribee without reply from Dandenong. It's a bit similar to last week. Box Hill got away from Dandenong. Elshaw watched from the bench. He made the moves and they kicked 9 goals in the second quarter.
Oh, I think it's a different kettle of fish today, Pete. What worries me is the rebound Werribee. They've just got that touch of class. They do it so easily. I mean, so Dandenong have had a lot of the play. They could, have had a number of opportunities, but haven't been able to take advantage of it. And conversely, Werribee, when they've attacked on their 3 or 4 occasions, they've
got a goal.
They've got the full.
And at an open forward line too, Sam.
Yeah.
Sam, they're worried. They're thinking that they're up against a more experienced or league experienced opponent, and it's
Ricky Knight doesn't miss many.
Oh, gee whiz, I could have sworn that one the other post, but there you go.
Phil, I also feel they're a little bit imbalanced or unsettled. The loss of Big Green has left them a little bit deficient in the big man department.
Oh, it
with
has
Doyle
for sure.
now having to carry the burden.
The Assumption boy. Not getting the distance. Oh, lovely mark, Neil Danaher. Other 2 went up. He judged the better. And rising to the occasion, Neil Danaher. 1 goal already. Rather acute angle, as you can see, but not far out. No trouble at all. 5 goals to Werribee. And 2 to Neil Danaher.
It's got that bit of polish about them, Phil, haven't they? They go about their work in a very workmanlike manner.
Well, look at this. They're all up, and then just Danaher, the last man in the parade, virtually, and he just plucks it.
Ruck all day. He's had a variety of opponents, depending whereabouts on the ground the throw-in or bounce takes place. Here's Danaher. Going down the middle at every opportunity, and Lesapati plucks it.
Gee, that is a good mark. It's as good a mark as you'll see. Look at the determination all over his face.
A little bit of grass showing the breeze going from left to right. The breeze helps it right through the middle. Half a dozen goals without reply from Werribee. 38 points up, and we've played 25 minutes. They can't hold the mark. Wicks. Burke. Wicks about 75 metres from goal. Moray behind the pack. It's all Werribee with him, and the behind conceded by Spearings. That makes the difference. 38 points at quarter time. Dandenong for the 2nd week in a row haven't kicked a goal in the opening quarter of play. Werribee kicked 6. 2 to Danaher, O'Keefe has got a couple, Knight and Lesapati singles. VFA second semi-final at Port Melbourne, and victory, well, 3/4 away, perhaps for Werribee. They've got off to the better start. They lead by 38 points.
The hard work that we do, we just got to keep persisting at it, just really letting ourselves go. Letting ourselves go that we've been waiting for so long. Can't drop off now. If there's nothing on, don't wait. We've just got to go on, right? And that's if there's nothing on. But forward line players, keep moving around. We just don't want to get in a situation where we just go and say who's going to take the high mark. It's not going to happen. It might have taken a few that time, but let's work for the numbers. Look through the middle, which is good. A David, a 90 through the middle, things like that. Look into the middle, coming out of defence. That's what happened about the 15-minute mark. We just got in a situation where we just started kicking it up into the air instead of running it out like we were doing early in the game. So the guys in the middle are really going to link it up. We're going to link it up, push to the back, and link it up, run it out. So when we do go to the forward line, we mark it, we've been kicking range. Not we get it, we bomb it, and we're still 70 metres out. So we just got to run it that little bit further, so we give them the option. Also, feel good, couple of hard work, come out in that situation. Then we just got to get someone dropping back. So we just got to have someone, whether it's Frank, a Drummy, or a Neil Downer, or whatever. If someone's coming up, we've got to have another option coming in behind him. So
very animated Morg Harris there. Very happy with what he saw from the boundary line. His team certainly did play down the middle, Sam. They didn't. Won't score. Danaher. Copybook.
Yes, class written all over this man. I'm sure Kevin Sheedy wouldn't like to have had him yesterday. And the way he's going around at the moment, it's not beyond the realms that he could probably resurrect his league career.
Kick straight through the ball. Angle didn't favour the right footer. Didn't worry Neil Danaher. 3 goals.
And it's great to see him have an influence on the game. He's worked so diligently to get himself back after a horrific run with injuries. And here we'll see it on screen again from Sells. Look at this. You know, his aerial work's been absolutely superb.
Well, they've got Lee Taylor on him, and Taylor's not as experienced, or doesn't have the experience at the moment, and he's going to struggle. I think McKenzie, looks like McKenzie is going to the back line on drum.
Dandenong yet to kick a goal. Doyle, quick hands. Chapman hasn't given a thing away so far. A little bit too close was Knight for the handball from Morgan, and then Ricky Knight gives away the free. Darren Reid takes advantage of the advantage, and this time Welsh is a few metres clear and will run into the open goal and miss it.
Well, Rowan Welsh has shown during the year that he can be a touch enigmatic, I suppose you might say, Ross. Yes. And he doesn't have the experience, and will play with great marking ability, but just doesn't know how to settle, and the occasion has just been a bit too much for him, I think. He didn't want to steady there and take the kick at goal. He was prepared to run on. Hoping he get closer, but dear me, those misses can cost you a game.
Doyle, easy mark. Rayburn was the only one in front of him. They stream past. Reid. Beautiful kick, and directly in front, McKenzie must goal. 35 metres out.
Plenty of the play the last 10 minutes. You're right, Sam. They just need a goal. 9 scoring shots without putting one big one on the scoreboard.
That is about to come to an end.
Oh, you're a genius, Peter.
Brett McKenzie takes full toll for the first time in the match for Dandenong, and maybe that is the change of fortune they'd like. I reckon Doyle is really working hard. Another handball from him, and Reid showing a touch of class since he's come back on, even after a long absence.
You're dead right, Peter. And the Redlegs will be imbued by that major.
Heard the call from Eames. Had to sit under it a little bit. Bit more pressure coming from the Redlegs now. McMaster has pushed it right back into the middle. Here's Eames. McMaster. They're being hit from left, right. He's a terrific tackle, Moray. Perhaps the best in the VFA.
Off to Brown. McKenzie on the run is Reid. Coming with him is Knight. Reid gives it to Knight. Knight will shoot for goal and gets it. Great effort, Dandenong.
Well, doesn't the game change when you tackle and chase and put the pressure on all of a sudden?
Exactly, Phillip.
Right into the game. Harris coming on. Well, I did say he was lean looking, Harris, but I'll get back to that later. But and Reid on the right side puts it over to Knight, and gee, he's been a great player in the finals. Tremendous goal.
It's Eames who drives it to centre half forward. McKenzie against Lesaputty. It goes down to Harris. His first possession is going to end in a goal for Danaher. Number 4 for Neil Danaher. He hugs the captain coach. And that's a steadier from the Bees.
Harris, yes. Good hand pass to Danaher. Doesn't look all that frail, Phil. Leon Harris.
Sure, but the pressure came from Fitzpatrick. Eames out to Knight, caught by Dennis Knight. Burke tries to spot the pass to Elshaw. Had to work a little bit harder than he would have liked, Tony Elshaw, but gets up okay and will shoot from well within his range.
When the captain coach is free, Peter, we know the rules, don't we?
You don't look for anybody else.
Exactly.
Just under 50 metres for Elshaw.
That's how you kick them.
Exactly, drill that right through.
Yeah, good stuff. Ricky Knight off. Looks on it, and
I think
it's just a pass.
He's had 6 kicks, Elshaw, since coming on.
Well, it's important for the captain coach to put the ball through the big sticks, show the other boys how to do it, but he has been very handy and cool.
Not the player, not the ball. Doyle. Short. Brown. Moray. Long to Welsh.
That's excellent football. They really worked hard in midfield, Dandenong.
Oh, he wanted to give it away. He's a bit uncertain.
Oh, steady down, mate.
You kick a goal and give yourself some confidence.
I'll put this through.
Anywhere within 80 metres, you just have a shot.
Just kick for that left post.
Put your glasses down. Oh, Welsh sets a goal. That's what we know he can do. First goal for him for the afternoon.
I'll tell you what too, Ross, where he's got a lot of experience, a few older players have been around a bit, and these young blokes for Dandy, I think they're just starting to get themselves into gear and running.
Could be another Melbourne, isn't it? Repetition, Phil.
Well, I don't know, Sam. I still think Werribee got a lot of class, but you got to be totally committed and ruthless about the game. Now, that'll tell. We'll find out whether Werribee really are as keen about it as the young blokes from Dandy.
They've just levelled on the score of aggression, which is great.
Nowhere to go. I like the way Doyle's working.
Oh.
Moray, a better backup. He didn't get his original target, but Burke was there. Rowan Welsh held.
Yes.
Got the free kick.
Well spotted, Peter. I was going to say something on the same lines, but I thought the umpires don't pay them up there to forwards. And
Siren
lo and behold.
sounded. So, has he got his confidence back in his kicking boot? Because he's going to kick a goal after the siren.
Yes, as forwards, you get sick of those knuckleheads holding up here all day, don't you, Sam?
Well, I'm not suggesting for one moment that Lyndon Fitzpatrick's a knucklehead, but
This to put Dandenong within 2 goals. Well, nearly a repeat of last week. They didn't kick 9, they kicked 5 in that quarter to Werribee's 2. They're now within 12 points. Fitzpatrick got the fist away, but his hand had been around the arm and then over the shoulder. The umpire spotted it, and Welsh made no mistake. So Dandenong are in a huddle. Elshaw's got them together as they go off the ground, and they'll be glad that Rowan Welsh has got his name on the scoreboard, and the Dandenong fans applaud their side off. Werribee, they can regroup now in this quarter of an hour and come out and do it again like they did in the first with the breeze, in which they kicked 6 goals. That time it was Dandenong's turn to kick 5. Goal kickers for Werribee. They're 2 goals in front. Danaher's got 4. 2 to O'Keefe, singles, Knight and Sells. While for Dandenong, 2 to Welsh, singles to Elshaw, Dennis Knight and Mackenzie. It's half-time, VFA second semi-final at Port Melbourne, and Werribee lead Dandenong by 12 points.
Leon Harris, the foot up for protection, wasting no time. Neil Danaher beats the pack. Ricky Knight in space. What he likes, usually kicks well. On the left foot, Lesapati. Oh! Lovely grab.
Oh, that is a superb mark. Athleticism there, Philip.
Oh, 50-metre penalty. Well, gee.
I don't know how a player trying to defend is supposed to stop himself when he's got that sort of momentum up.
Might have been the second crunch that we missed on the replay. He has missed the goal, though.
Yes, I'll have to say that I didn't see enough there to know whether there was a 50-metre. We'll see it again. Mackenzie's committed. He's in the contest. Now,
there's no 50-metre there.
Certainly not the way they haven't been paying them this season.
Exactly.
Lesapati. Mackenzie just put him off, and here's Doyle again, playing that half-back stopping role very well. Drum fends off from 45. Put it down.
gee, that
funny game, isn't it, Phil?
Yes, well, Dandy have threatened for a good 5 minutes or so, had opportunities, but look at Drum here. Breaks through the tackles, and isn't there a touch of experience and arrogance about that goal? Straight through the middle.
Danaher behind. Fought well to spoil Marshall. Welsh, long and accurate hand pass to Burke. Thump, Moray turns, now looks at the ball, marks well.
That is fine mark. Stood his ground very well. Danger threatening.
He was born in 1970, Ross. Dallas. His parents might have liked the TV show. I can't see the...
It's obscure.
It is
3 points so far for Moray. And now finally he kicks a major. Back to 16 points.
Still well in the game, Ross. And Phil, you and I will be keeping good company on the 13th of the month. Sportsman's Night at Williamstown with Terry Wheeler, Barry Round, Wakeman, Ray Bright, the former Victorian and Australian Test player.
That's a great mark by Moray there. Under a lot of pressure. We'll be able to talk about that mark on the night, Sam.
He's done very well, Moray.
Oh, it's very clumsy.
Come out there, Macca.
Had to be in the back. What was wrong with that?
There's a push by Marshall. There's running straight at the ball. Harris, Rayburn, out to Danaher, number 5.
And Phil, I guess the difference, the bottom line is, Werribee have made the most of every opportunity, haven't they? By comparison, the other mob have squandered them. Danaher, well, 5 goals from 5 shots. And Harris certainly showed what determination's all about. He just ran at that ball, kicked it off the ground, and fortunately it found Danaher.
Wilmington still going all day. Quick hands, McMaster. Danaher.
Well, that is a sensational mark. And those who remember Danaher when he was a champion in the early days will certainly delight in that. What a great mark. 13 possessions.
And 6 straight goals. Take note, Dandenong, 6 straight from Neil Danaher.
Well, it's great to see him to come back to VFA football and really stamp his name on the game. Look at that for a grab. A player who was affected by a serious knee injury when they say he was the best footballer in Australia, and that's why he was. Champion football and a great bloke.
Dandenong have kicked 2 goals in this quarter, Werribee 4. Elshaw Takes possession now. Yes.
It's an important one back.
It wasn't a bad goal either. Beautiful running by Al Shuran to swing the ball back into the breeze on his left foot. There he is, the captain coach. They've been struggling to get the big ones on the scoreboard. Look at this. Plays a bit for a free kick. A lot of courage. Round the corner. Important.
As that makeshift ruckman, you know, Chapman going for the knock instead of defending towards the boundary line, knocking it back into the corridor. And the skill level's been fantastic, Phil. The way that ball seesawed from alternate defence is just fantastic. Both sides of the body.
Moray to Burke. Underneath it, Mullane wouldn't have travelled 10 metres, lost it in the sun. Geary a paddle. Welsh. Moray. Yes, say the Dandenong supporters.
Well, they've threatened
2 goals in the quarter.
Times, and that one really, that'll give them a burst, because they are playing all right, but just not capping the game off with goals. Handball out. 2 for the quarter, Roscoe.
Now those last 2 in time on.
They're again going to the leading Welsh. He has to burst his way through a big pack of Werribee arms. McMaster. Can't be a lot left in the turn. 1 second to be exact. Very much alive, this match. Just 15 points separating the teams. It was 37 at quarter time to Werribee, 12 at half time. So they haven't been headed, but Dandenong still have a sniff. 6 goals to Neil Danaher for the leading Werribee side. The other multiple goal kickers, Lesapati 2, O'Keefe 2. Off for Dandenong, 2 apiece to Elshaw, Moray and Rowan Welsh. At Port Melbourne, a quarter to go in the VFA second semi-final, and it's Werribee who lead Dandenong by 15 points.
29 going on at 34. All injuries and the age of the league. So make sure you get the ball in the area that suits you and run off and keep running and keep running. It's your first initial thing is to make sure that context. Make sure that context. Okay, we'll give you a Lesapati doing a good job. Murray going with O'Keefe. Brooks here with Drumming, okay? Pretty good stuff, But just got to keep that momentum going. Okay, Burke in the centre, Molly Bengalis Reed, Moray Welsh Brown, Dolly myself Gotcha, okay? So we'll keep the movement around with myself, Molly and Brownie, and Reedy, Moray and Gotch. Okay, now we've got a situation there where we've got groups of 3. Well, let's share the workload as much as possible and make them quick. Make them quick and sharp and use the legs that we've got. Okay? Everybody understand the line? Take it on. Come in close, boys. Set out with your shots too. Come in close. It's converse to no one. Let's get on with it. Hardcore. This is it. This is the whole fucking thing. Come on.
Well, it's togetherness that's going to do it for Dandenong. Won't score. Which way is this going? It's going Werribee's way. O'Keefe's got the free kick. Favours the right footer.
Make it 10 metres. I can't play
Perfect view of it.
I can't play on. The mark Doyley.
3 goals for Phil O'Keefe. The opener of the quarter. And again, Werribee have scored it.
Yes, there must have been a bit of pushing and shoving in the pack there. There's Ricky Knight going off. He and Sells have struggled. Back to O'Keefe kicking the goal, but we don't see again just what happened in the pack. I do know that Damien Drum came in from behind the pack and was showing, so whether there were other pushes from Dandenong Pals or not, I can't be sure. But the umpire must have spotted something. Good start for Werribee.
It's David Allday. Frangalis has it taken away by Welsh. Harris off the ground. Knight. Moray. Reed's available, uses Mullane instead. Right on 50. Sean Mullane slots it.
Well, you know, Sam, they haven't done that enough, really, have they? Run the ball into the midfield to players running into goals. Right? Yes, and this is much better played. they've settled it. Running the ball in, you've got a better chance. They've tended to get the ball out. They've kicked to leads a lot, and players have had to settle and kick at goal. But that's the way to do it in VFA. And actually, it was mentioned, one of the coaches mentioned, I think Harris it was, who mentioned running the ball in close.
That's if they can keep it in their forward line. Reed to Mullane. He's on his bus and he's running. Puts it out in front of the lead from Moray. Bouncing it to McConkey. Good hand in there from Walsh, and then he gives away the free kick on Mullane. Advantage has been played. I don't know whether it is an advantage, though. Certainly no clear-cut opportunity. McConkey with strength. Caught well again by Walsh.
Oh, this is fascinating stuff. Yes! They got one in front. Oh.
Morgan not happy with the umpiring from Shane Harris.
Well, it never... Those two umpires were very, very close.
That's McConkey.
Well, he battled
Did he go in
hard in there, really hard. And the Dandenong players really fought that one out. And I think in the end, probably that was a pretty fair decision because the Werribee players did hold the ball underneath. You just see it here. Welsh goes hard trying to get it out.
Now here you see Morgan. Oh,
It was a good tackle from Nick Walsh that stopped McConkey, and I think he's twisted his right knee.
Elshaw calling for the doctor, for the trainer.
Telling him to take him straight off, I think, Ross. Not worry about the interchange.
Here comes the stretcher now. We've had 16 minutes of the last quarter of the second semi, and it's 10 points the difference.
Oh, it's a shame that, isn't it? Because the boys, he's looked pretty good in this last quarter, hasn't he, Peter McConkey, and gone on to the...
Well, he spent 2 quarters on the bench, came on, fresh legs, and that's where Elshaw thought they could beat Werribee, and if they can get some goals, he might be proved right, but that's bad luck indeed for Scott McConkey.
you don't like to see this happen.
Looks like the knee, is it, Sam? Oh, that's disappointing.
And Lee Taylor, there it is.
Oh, there he is, yes, twisting badly on that knee.
Oh, that's a shame.
Lee Taylor back on for the Redlegs.
Yeah, Rowan Welsh. The young fella's under pressure at times has struggled a little bit.
And a big breath. Welsh has 2 goals. 2 goals.
2-5, I think, Ross.
And now the margin is just 4 points.
Well, Phil, the psychological advantage or the initiative, they're probably wrested away from Werribee. Werribee are the ones now that will start wondering, heck, what's happened? You know, we've looked like being in command all day, and now that they're being clawed back, they just could completely falter.
Nick Murray.
Straight up the middle. Ooh, what a towering talk roll.
Has it gone straight to the opposition? It has again. Yes, Phil, we agree. Danaher finds O'Keefe. In the pocket is Sells. Got away from McKenzie, who wasn't his man, though. McKenzie had to work hard.
Sorry, Ross. Torpedo punt down the middle, marked by the opposition. A drop punt marked by your own side settles you down and you're away. Now, I don't know, they're a worry, these torpedoes.
Stephen Sells. Off the ground for much of the match. Prolific goal kicker. And he knows how to kick straight. He's first.
Yeah, been well contained, the mercurial forward, but chimes in at the most appropriate of times to just give Werribee that steadier. And they were looking at very much at 6s and 7s and on the rack. Well, not on the rack, but looking very frail. This is a fine steadying goal by Sells. And yet you're right, Phil, they didn't work hard enough from the kick out.
Minutes gone. And again, Werribee get it out. Chip kick from McMaster is a beauty. Sells on the wrong side for the left footer. Who's at the full? It's Harris. The captain coach bangs it through. Sells did well on the boundary line. And how's that? The Tigers have got 2 in the space of 30 seconds. Will that kick the Dandenong can in?
Well, it's certainly the sign of a good side that can do what they've done in the last minute and a half. 2 crucial centre bounce contests, one quite convincingly by Werribee. Then, of course, when you've got the class of guys like Sells, you know, you just can't hope to contain for the duration of an entire match. They're going to break away sooner or later, and what a crucial stage of the game he has broken.
Spoilt by Fitzpatrick. Moray to Welsh. Oh, hit the post.
Oh, well.
3-5 for Rowan Welsh. And I think they're fated not to win it.
No.
All they got a hand to it. Burke, advantage is played. Welsh tries to try and knock it to a teammate. That teammate is Mackenzie. Goal.
Yes. They're back in it.
There'll be a bit of time on too.
Yes.
2 minutes with the stretcher incident. With
How many goals have we had for the quarter, Pete?
Werribee have kicked 3. And 3 kicked by Dandenong. So Mackenzie.
So conceivably we've got about probably 5 minutes, Phil. Plenty of time.
He's got 2, Brett Mackenzie.
Just got to endeavour to run it.
They want a Mackenzie mark, Dandenong. Brought down though to Morgan. He could put the sealer on it here. Running into goal, it's Richie Rayburn. It's all over now. Stephen Sells into Williamstown Road. Werribee through to the grand final. Stephen Sells 2 in the last term. The breakdown occurred in the middle, and it was put down your glasses.
Well, Mackenzie was committed to go the mark, wasn't he, Peter? The punt was taken by Dandenong to put the ball back into that dangerous midfield area, into the centre square. Mackenzie didn't pluck it, and the runner Morgan was there to make them pay.
You're dead right there. He's given them something, whether defending or attacking.
So Werribee finished on top for the first time in their history, and they're going to win a final for the first time here and go straight into the grand final. The Bees do it, the Birds do it, and the Werribee fans in love with their team in a VFA grand final for the first time. Elaine's going to have a shot at goal. And he scored her behind. A fitting end to the day for Dandenong. 38 scoring shots to 24. And in the end, victory deservedly going to Dandenong. They have won by, to Werribee. They've won by 2 goals. Leon Harris will be quite happy with the week's break, I think, because it was quite a hard game. Dandenong giving it their all, but they front up to Box Hill in a replay of the qualifying final next week in the preliminary. Well, a game of missed opportunities. The team that took theirs victorious.
Yes, it certainly was, Peter. The number of, well, how do you explain it? It was almost a pantomime, wasn't it, in the final quarter? The number of times the ball went forward. Salmon just called it again with monotony. Another point.
Must have been demoralised for the players, Philip. You know, we've all been in situations where our sides are kicked poorly, but in a final to repeatedly have the ball up there and just squander relatively easy opportunities, terribly demoralising, isn't it?
Yeah, you still go away thinking that, right, Werribee's a pretty good side, you know.
Oh, I don't think they'd lose anything in terms of their beliefs in being able to beat them next time round if they get the opportunity, and I suspect they will.
I would say that I really doubt whether Box Hill could knock over a side like Werribee.
Just, I think Ross Booth now has our man of the match and endeavouring to have a word to the victorious coach. Over to you, Ross.
Thanks, Sam. Yeah, a bit like the Pied Piper of Hamlet, but the winner again is Greg Chapman, a very difficult man to pick today. So many good players, and Bill Stubbs with Wards Express.
Thanks very much. Thanks, Ross. Greg, congratulations on behalf of the board. Fine game today. Best luck for the big one on the 22nd. Well done. Add that one to your collection. Well done.
Well done, Greg, and the keys to the Mazda. There we are. Well, you're there in the grand final, but it was a close one. 4 points they got to within.
No, we earned it in the end. There's one more week to go, and hopefully we'll see Dandenong again. Thanks to Wards and Mazda, and just one more to go.
You've got a great leap. You don't practice that at all, do you?
No. No, give no secrets away.
Well, how excited are you, really?
Well, ask me in 2 weeks.
Well, it's a bit like he's learnt from Tony Alshaw, I think, keeping it nice and tight. But Greg Chapman, I think, for the second time this year, the Wards Express man of the match. So we'll be back shortly with some interviews.
A 12-point win for Werribee in the VFA second semi-final. They had 13 less scoring shots, but they won on the scoreboard and were never headed. So deserved winners, and the victorious captain coach Leon Harris is with Ross Booth.
Yes, well, if you can hear over the den, Leon, you've won a final. Soak in the atmosphere.
Can't hear.
The question I asked was, Leon, well, finally you have won a final.
Yeah, we have, and it's great. It's for a lot of the players that have been here, we haven't been like the supporters. They've never had a win at Werribee in the final, so to the supporters, it's a great thing. To us, it's good, I suppose, getting straight through to the grand final. We've got a lot of work to do between now and then, but a win's a win, and I'm wrapped about it.
How worried were you when they got to within 4 points? They'd missed so many chances. Did you think they were going to grab it?
Oh, they did have a lot of chances, there's no doubt in that, but to our credit, we defended quite well, and, we won the game. So we go through, they've got to fight the next week, so that's the best part about it.
And what will your tactics be over the next fortnight? A lot of rest?
Oh, no, it's got to be a lot of work. We've had a rest last week, and it's a lot of time between, it's another 2 weeks, so we'll make sure we have a preparation. It'll be pretty hard.
What did you say to the boys then?
Oh, well, just said a few guys might have been down and out, but Selzy come on in the last quarter and do exceptionally well again. So just got to keep your head up all the time, because you never know, you can be a match winner in the last quarter. So, oh no, just said keep your heads down and let's work towards it in the next 2 weeks.
Okay, well done, Captain Coach Leon Harris. Werribee into the VFA Grand Final.
For the first time in their history, and their first ever finals victory today in, in sweaty palm style over Dandenong, who have to face up to Box Hill, and Box Hill will be better for their first win of this final series yesterday. How do you think the preliminary will go?
I think Box Hill should lose it to Dandenong. Dandenong, a very good side. They're a bit stiff today, but Werribee also is a great side, so there's plenty of finals football left.
I was just marginally out today, but I'm sticking with you, Dandenong.
Okay, well, we look forward to your company again next Sunday at Port Melbourne for that one. Back to the studio and John Bell.